So boom, right? Do not forget that the man is a Virgo, right? So we're sitting down, we're having fun, we're kikiing, you feel me? It's kind of a vibe. I'm like, okay, period. Not this fine man being cool as fuck. So then, I don't know how this came up. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all are gonna hear that a lot because I'm only remembering the key parts for real, for real. But basically, the whole 50-50 and the whole like provider thing comes up, right? And trust me, I didn't bring it up because I don't want to hear anything that's gonna turn me the fuck off, right?
A woman does not want to hear that. And the thing is, women are not going to bring those conversations up on a date. On a date, I've never heard a woman say to me, oh, I need a man who's going to do this. I need a man who's going to do that. I've never heard a woman do that. So when we're going on a date, you need to be vetted. Let me see if this woman is for me. You ain't got to talk about, oh, you got to do this and you need to do that. Pay attention to her actions. Because as long as you're doing what you need to be doing, you can identify if the woman likes you based off her behavior. We don't need to go on the date and list out all the things the woman needs to be. That's pointless. It's useless.
So whatever, we start talking about that and he's basically like, he basically asked me if I want to work like as a wife. And I'm like, no, what am I working for if I'm depending on my husband? And he was like, oh, I will never keep a bitch.
So this guy, he probably just didn't even really want her like that. I don't know, because to me, why are we bringing up these conversations about a wife on a first date? Keep in mind, this is a first date. So on a first date, you're already talking about what you want your wife to look like. That's out of sequence. You know what I'm saying? Because this woman doesn't know you. You should just be spending that time just getting to know her. Keep it lighthearted. We ain't finna talk about no religion, no politics, no 50-50, no dating topics. Leave that for friends or a podcast or homegirls. That's what you lead those conversations to. I'm not discussing those things with a woman I have romantic interest in. Because there's no point of that. Because the only thing you're gonna do is upset the woman. And then the vibe's gonna be all the way off. And now you didn't wasted your time, you didn't wasted your money, all because you wanna bring up these topics to make a point, which is stupid because you're not gonna even get the end result that you want.
I'm gonna stop you right there. This is your first one. Please don't say that in front of me again. Don't refer to women as bitches. I don't like that. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, that's gonna be very hard because it's one syllable, it's like easy, da-da-da. I was like, I don't give a fuck about how easy or hard it is for you. You're a grown-ass fucking man, and if you're on a date with me and I'm telling you that I really do not appreciate that and it makes me uncomfortable, you can try your absolute best for the next hour to not do it. Obviously, I didn't say it as aggressive as I'm saying it, but that's literally exactly what I said to him. And he was like, okay, I'm sorry, blah, blah. I was like, I appreciate it, thank you. And then fast forward, he's like, yeah, I'll never give my everything to a woman and da-da-da. And he was like, and if that's the case, if our agreement is that you're gonna take care of the household and I'm gonna be working, you're gonna be depending on me the whole time.
So there's nothing wrong with this type of conversation about, is your woman gonna work and da-da-da-da-da. The only thing is, it's out of sequence. These are conversations you have when you have already been in a relationship with the woman and y'all are probably looking towards marriage or having a family. Then that's when you have those type of conversations. But when you're on a first or second date with somebody, we not having those conversations. It's levels to this. It's certain like for instance, if a woman wants a relationship, then that's when you discuss your boundaries. You don't discuss boundaries or how we're gonna raise the family dynamic on the first date. You know what? You're gonna be ghosted actually by bringing up these conversations on the first date. Because a woman, she gonna sit there and entertain it. And guess what? You ain't gonna never hear from her again. Straight.
Y'all know what this man said? Word for word, bar for bar. He said that his woman's time, the one that's taking care of the house, taking care of the kids and all that while he's at work, her time has to equate to a dollar amount. It has to equate to a dollar amount for it to make sense for him to take care of her and provide for her. After he said that bullshit, I keep my composure. I'm never gonna show you how you're making me feel, because at the end of the day, this is his perspective. These are his values. I'm not gonna try to change him, his opinion, his perspective, none of that. I don't care. I'm getting to know this person. So of course I'm not gonna hear everything I wanna hear. And it's not a big fucking deal. We're on a fucking date. Like, who cares? So I'm like, oh, okay, you know, God bless y'all in y'all situation. I hope you find what works for you, you know? So then he...
Hey, when a woman hits you with the, I hope you find what's best for you, that's how you know it's over with. But again, this dude, you know, I'm not gonna finish the rest of the video because y'all can clearly see where it's going. It's just getting worse and worse. I'm good, because I'm gonna get a freaking headache off of this. But the whole point that I wanted to make was, like, again, with women, the best thing to do to identify if a woman it could be, now, yes, you're gonna have to probably mold a woman, but you need to be vetting the woman to see if this woman is for you. So the way you're doing that is by paying attention to her actions. Does she do the small things? Is she attentive? How's her communication skills? How is she when she gets upset? We don't need to be telling her what we expect out of her. We don't need to do that. All you gotta do is watch. Also too, it comes off as very controlling when you're doing these type of tactics. When you're on the first date and you're talking about my wife and what she has to do and all the things that I require you to do, and you gotta do this and you gotta do that to be my woman, you sound controlling. And where does controlling stem from? It stems from insecurities. So the purpose of a date is for me to get to know you and for us to enjoy ourselves and have fun. Not to be talking about these topics we hear on these podcasts. Y'all hear these things on podcasts and YouTube channels, and we go on a date and talk about it with a woman. All the woman is gonna do is get turned off. You think she gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do this. Well, think about this, right? If you stating your standards to a woman and she really likes you, she can pretend that she's that woman. That's even worse. That's why you don't state your standards to a woman. You know, the best thing that you can do is let a woman show you who she is. Because regardless, a woman's true colors is going to come out. So allow a woman, by you watching, that's you vetting. Allow her to show you who she is. There's no need of going on a date and then stating all the things you want out of a woman and different things like that. All you're gonna do is ruin the vibe. Because those are too serious of conversations. It's out of sequence. Now, yes, if you're in a relationship with somebody and that person wants to have a family with you or want marriage, then yes, there's a time period in that relationship where you need to discuss, okay, how are we gonna raise our children? Are we gonna take them to this type of church? What is the finances gonna look like? Who's gonna pay for what? That's when you discuss those things. When y'all are when y'all are in cahoots with each other. But you don't do that on a date. A first date should be lighthearted. Talk about favorite TV shows or different trips that you took in, or, you know, whatever's going on wherever y'all live at. You keep the conversations light. There's no need to talk about these serious topics because you don't even know if you're gonna make it that far with the woman yet. So all you're doing is self-sabotaging. Those are inappropriate conversations to be having. So to me, when I hear men doing these things, it stems from a lack of insecurity. They've had a lot of women that have done them wrong, and they feel like now, okay, well, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start sharing my standards. I'm gonna let a woman know what it is. That ain't gonna work. The best thing you can do is just watch her action, watch her behavior. How does she act? How does she present herself? Is she attentive? Does she communicate well? How is she when we have disagreements? Those are the things that you need to be looking at. That's gonna give you the answer. That's allowing a woman to reveal herself to you. Instead of you trying to dictate the situation, you can just watch and see what she does and then go off of that. That's the smart thing to do. You feel me? So with that being said, guys, that's my video for today, man. I appreciate you guys for coming over to the channel as always. Guys, make sure you continue to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'm gone.